Yo, what is going on, guys? TymeStopper here, coming back at you another Raid Shadow Legends video on the free-to-play challenge account. I know it's been a few days since I uploaded, but don't worry, my progress hasn't stopped. It hasn't even slowed down. We are chugging along. And in this video, I want to talk about where we're at, what we're working on, and some of the missteps that I've made along the way and other things that I think I've done well. So let's jump into the video. So where are we at? Well, as you can see, we are at level 39 right now, almost ready to hit level 40, so close to unlocking that Doom Tower. Now, where are we at with our champions? Well, we did, since the last update, get our Kale up to level 60, so he is able to farm Brutal Campaign, and wow, what a difference that makes. If you remember in the last episode, I talked about how I unlocked the gem mine probably earlier than I needed to, and I definitely stick by that, probably more so now than even when I made that video, because the truth is that once I got Kale to 60, it was a world of difference. Training becomes faster because you're able to do it on Brutal, and every now and then on Brutal 12-3, I will fail a run, but the amount of XP that I'm getting is still more than if I was able to succeed a run at 12-3 hard. So it's definitely worth it, even if you can't win every time. And I will say that from time to time, I will fail on the very last wave because the Lord Shazar will land 2 bombs on Kale, and he's just not built well enough yet in order to sustain that. But it doesn't happen that often, so it's well worth me farming food on 12-3 Brutal at this point. I haven't really tried to 3-star Brutal. I don't know if I could. It's not worth the resources I would put into it. Right now, my main goal is to get as many champions as I can to that 50/60 mark so that I can improve my clan boss team, because I already know that I have a core for clan boss. You know, we did put our deacon at 50 very early. I did recently get Jareg up to level, well, 5-star. He's working on level 50. And I literally just moments ago got Steel Skull here at 5-star. So we're going to work on getting him up to 50 as well. And then my next one after that is going to be Mordecai, because those 5, I think, are going to be where we use the bulk of our resources early on, because the truth is that Deacon brings the defense down, he brings the speed aura, Jareg brings attack down, he brings the ally protection, Steel Skull is going to bring me some poisons, he brings me the defense up, and then, of course, Mordecai gives me an attack up, and he has an HP burn. So I feel like this is a really good team that can probably carry me to Nightmare without me having to swap teams around a bunch. What I've seen in the past is a lot of times people will end up pulling a champion. They're like, oh man, that'll be so good, I can put him in here. But they've already spent so much time and resources leveling up other champions that they then just put to the wayside. I feel like I have a good package here, and unless I pull like just an absolute banger of a champion at some point, I think they're going to be the way that I go for right now. As a matter of fact, so much so that you'll see that I've vaulted Rhonda for right now, because I don't feel like investing the resources into Rhonda is going to help me get to where I want to be, and that's faster into Nightmare and Brutal Clan Boss. Because that's where you're going to get the shards, that's where you're going to get the potions, that's where you're going to get the gems, and that's going to help you speed up your process everywhere else in the game, basically. So right now, I have Errol sitting in there, I have Rhonda sitting in there. Now, one of the things that did throw me off a little bit, as you can see, I do have a Frozen Banshee, a Grave Chill Killer, and the Centurion. And I did have to put them up to 30. The reason I did that, and it certainly slowed me down because I'm farming them up instead of farming food up, right? But I did want to make sure that every single day that when I go in here to these quests, I'm able to do as many of these advanced quests as I can so that I can work my way to getting these chickens. And there are quests that say fight an arena battle with one champion of each affinity. So that's why I pulled a Centurion. And then there's other ones that say use so many keys in faction wars or whatever else, or fight faction wars with a rare champion. Well, if I don't have a rare champion for every faction available, I can't complete that advanced quest. And today, when I went to faction wars, the two factions that were open were Night Rev and Undead. So I needed to level something up so I could at least do them. Now, am I very far in these? Absolutely not. I don't need to be. But in order to complete that advanced quest, I need to make sure that I have a rare champion available for each faction. So I leveled up the Grave Chill and the Frozen Banshee. They'll do fine in Undead. And then, ironically enough, Centurion I was able to level him up and get stage 1 of Night Rev done. Now, would it be nice if I get further in here? Yeah, 100%, because the more of those I do, the more rewards I get down here on this reward path. But, just getting some stars, getting in there and getting some, stuff available to me for the Forge is huge, because every little bit is going to make a big difference for me in here. I want to be able to forge this stuff up and get this gear, because this gear is massive still for my account. And then, obviously, like I said, I'm working on getting those champions up. So we do pretty much, we vaulted everything else. You can see in the reserve vault here, I have this guy because he's part of one of the fusions and he's pullable, not farmable. And then Metal Shaper, again, because these are rare champion. He's a rare champion for a faction, so I want to hang on to him for right now. As for my builds on most of my champions, honestly, they're pretty pathetic. But what I did was I made sure to speed team my champions for arena. So if you look at Kale, gasp, he is actually in HP percent boots. But I did that because when I put my fastest gear on Deacon, right, he's at, what is he at, 190 right now. So I just asked the Hell Hades optimizer, what's the fastest I can make Deacon with this stuff I have? And it was 190. So we have him at 190. And then I just, went from there. So I made my second fastest champion Mordecai. And I did that because he has the attack up. Now, unfortunately, he's not quite where he needs to be speed tuned with Deacon. I think he needs to be like 157. I just didn't have the gear to get him there. But then, of course, Kale, I backed him up. I realized if he was faster, I might get more in other areas and stuff, but it would end up hurting me in arena. And we know that one of the longest marathon things in this game is going to be that Great Hall. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to get to a higher level and make it easier on myself to farm medals. Now, that being said, I think I've probably pushed a little too far, a little too fast in arena, because I am in Gold 1, and most of the teams here, I can't even, look at this team, right? My team power right now is 46,310. Am I going to beat this team? No. So I'm literally having to go through and basically just cherry pick the easy teams, because I can't beat most of these other teams. They're just going to be faster. They're going to have better gear than me. So I'm just having to kind of cherry pick teams. I did back off to a one-man defense, though, so that I can drop back down. Originally, I wanted to do this because I wanted to hurry up and get some of these challenges done, where it says win 10 classic arena battles in Gold 1 or higher. But then I started to realize, well, in order to get to this legendary book up here, I was going to have to get 3 Great Hall bonuses to level 5. That's not something that's going to be done anytime soon. That's a ton of medals. And if I'm all the way up here in Gold 1, it's going to be super hard for me to farm medals like it is right now. You can see I am literally getting ready to have medals expire, or tokens expire here. Got 5 hours left on those. I've got tokens here. I've got tokens there that I can't use. So I need to start getting attacked so I'm not just burning through them and wasting them. So looking to drop back because I did get to Gold 1 way too fast. I'm not trying to be the best in the challenge. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to play this early game and, into the mid game and whatnot. So for me, the plan right now is to drop back to probably like Silver 3, Silver 4, so that I can farm those. Unfortunately, you can only take so many losses a day, so it's not really helping me. I wasn't even getting wins on defense. If you look at my defense log, I got a couple wins in here, but mostly losses, but I can't drop back fast enough. So that was kind of a fail on my part there. As for my Great Hall, I think it's doing pretty well. Right now, I did these three because we needed to do those. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend going attack. And then I started doing some accuracy ones. I did the accuracy ones for like my Kale, my Deacon, and then this is because of my Mordecai. So I want to make sure that I'm able to get that accuracy. And I just started doing some crit damage. Honestly, I'm just sitting on medals right now because I don't know where I want to go next from here. The problem is that when you start going to these higher levels, if we look at this, this is going to take a lot of medals for me to upgrade versus if I just went over here and I could just easily upgrade this. So I'm not sure what I want to do. Normally you want to get the lower level ones done first, but I don't really need crit damage out of these champions, right? They're more like support type champions. So maybe I need them to live a little longer. Maybe I go HP. Maybe I go resistance so they can't get debuffed so easily. I don't really know. So let me know in the comments down below, where would you guys go from here? Would you work on getting these up to the third one, or would you just try to spread these out somewhere else to other champions? Obviously, I don't have any void champions at this point that I even remotely care about, and I'm not planning on pulling void shards until there's a 2x void at this point. So I don't see me, really worrying about that. I got the Centurion only because of that advanced quest. Speaking of shards, we still just have the one sacred shard. We're up to 8 ancients and 1 void, and we're just going to sit there. I mean, there's a pretty juicy 10x going on right now, and my gosh, would I love to get a man-eater, but do I want to waste that shard and the chance that I don't get a man-eater? Not at all, because then I'm just out of shard, right? So yeah, I mean, pretty decent progress overall, I would say. As for my quests here, I'm doing all my dailies. My weekly's about to change over, so I'm chugging along. My goal is to do every one of these so I can get these shards and make sure I do those, and then obviously do as many of the advanced quests every day as I can. As you can see, I'm kind of holding on to this energy pot right here, and then I'm also holding on to an energy pot, I believe, somewhere else. Oh, here in Classic Arena. Oh, no, that's some new gems. Look at that. We got some gems there I didn't know about. Holding on to an energy pot somewhere else. I don't know where it's at. Oh, wait, I know where the other energy pot is. It's over here. So we got an energy pot sitting in here, right? And why am I doing that? Well, that's because right now we're getting ready to level up. So I want to, I could grab one of those energy pots right now and just speed this up. Or I can just wait for the energy to slowly regen, do the campaign runs, and then pick up one more energy. I mean, it's only one more energy, right? Let's do this. Let's go ahead. Let's grab one of these energy pots. I did it. That's right. We're going to run some campaign battles here, level some things up. We're going to unlock the Doom Tower and see in this video here, can we get any progress in the Doom Tower once we unlock it, or did I just completely waste my time? So we got Jareg in here, and we're going to put Steel Skull, and we're going to put 1 food champion. I'd like to run more food champions here, but it's more important that I get the Steel Skull and the Jareg up to 50 as soon as possible, because we need to be able to use them in Clan Boss. And when you may not know this, but when you first rank up a champion, it's actually weaker than it was when it was at its maximum earlier. So a level 40 4-star is stronger than that level 50 1-star. Usually around level, I think it's about 30, is where the break-even point is. So I basically have to get these guys to about level 30 on their current star ranking for them to be as strong as they were at the previous, level. So Jarag, now that he is level 40, is actually stronger than he was when he was a 4-star champion. So we got to get Steel Skull there as well so that he's helping us out in Clan Boss. So we're just going to run these guys through here for now. It's going to burn off some energy, but my goal with this is to get the Doom Tower open and start getting into some of those Doom Tower rewards. So I'm going to run this and I will be right back. All right, guys, and there it is, level 40. You see it here. So let's head on over into the Doom Tower and see if we can get anything accomplished. Or is it going to be completely impossible? I mean, if we can even just get the first couple levels done, I mean, I don't expect miracles, right? But if we can just get those first couple levels done. Oh, and we unlocked the Forge Pass too. Okay, so more rewards. Okay, pretty dope. Let's go over here. Let's take a look at the Doom Tower. I mean, obviously not the best rewards in normal Doom Tower, but hey, let's see what we can do, right? So we've got Kale, Deacon. Let's just put the usual suspects in there, right? And see if we can auto this and see how long it takes or if we can do anything with it, right? All right. Not looking too bad here. I mean, obviously the ally protection is going to massively help, right? It's going to make it so that we can get through quite a few of these levels. We do still have gear on War Maiden. She is running lifesteal gear right now because I didn't really have a whole lot of else that could help out in like some of the tougher stages. She is going to be someone that we kind of do put on the back burner here though, but we still just have her geared out for right now, but not in great gear. But I think she'll probably be better in here than Mordecai would at this point, since the HP burn doesn't bring a whole lot. She does bring a backup defense down for, you know, champion or enemies that are on weak affinity to Deacon. And then obviously she can do some damage as well, and she does have the self-healing versus Mordecai. I just don't think he would bring a whole lot to this. But, I mean, it doesn't look like we're doing too bad here on normal, which I'm kind of surprised with. I remember the first time I opened the Doom Tower, the first time I played through my first account, wow, I was so lost, didn't know what I was doing, didn't have a clue, couldn't get it past the first stage. I was like, this is ridiculous. Now, do I think I'm going to make it all the way up the Doom Tower? No, not even close, right? One, I don't have enough time left, but two, that would just be unrealistic for where my account's at. But every little bit of these resources is going to certainly help me out. And that's ultimately the goal. The, you know, little resources here, little resources there, and kind of work our way up through. So I'm going to work through some of these stages, and I'll come back here once I get to a point where I just can't get any further. Well, that didn't take very long. Of course, I was doing it on auto, but we literally only made it to floor 3 on auto. So it just shows you how much harder this is going to be. I'm definitely going to have to manual some floors, so I'll work through that a little bit later here and see how far I can get. I don't want to spend too much time on it right now, and that's because when we leveled up, we got some more energy. So I do need to go make sure that I got underneath that energy cap right now so that we can start regenning more and more energy. That's our goal, right? We got some progression rewards here. Oh, we got another epic skill tome. Let's go ahead and throw that into Deacon, keeping one back just in case, right? But, man, we've been pretty unlucky so far with our skill tomes into Deacon. I mean, he's almost fully booked the A1. It sure would be nice if we could get this A3 booked and this A2 booked. So let's hopefully go for something good here, see what happens. Maybe we'll get it into a good one. Hey, look at that. We did get it into the A3. Fantastic. That means we get that time compression skill up even quicker. So that means more turns for us, right? More turn meter fill, etc. So all the way through. We'll just hang on to that last book there for now, just in case we get to a quest that says book them or something. I want to make sure I have a book available. I don't know if there's one coming up, but my luck, I'd use it and then I'd be stuck, right? So what we're going to do for now, for the rest of the day, I think, is I'm probably just going to be working through the campaign, leveling up some food, leveling up my champions. I do need to do another clan boss run, but I am going to wait until I burn off the majority of this energy to do that. That way my Jureg and my Steel Skull are leveled up as much as possible, and see how much damage we are able to do on the clan boss with our newly leveled up champions.
2,000 years later.
Okay, well, that took a heck of a lot longer than I anticipated it taking. Holy cow. Let me tell you, when your dungeon runs, your campaign runs take 50 seconds a pop, and you're used to 5-second Fellhound runs, man, it seems like it's taken forever. But the good news is, I now have my Jureg all the way up to level 50, and Steel Skull is up to 45 already, and we did make some more food, so that means hopefully in the next day or so we'll be able to get Mordecai up to 50 as well, and then we just got to figure out who our second 60 should be. So let me know in the comments down below, who do you think the second 60 should be? Do I take Deacon to 60? Do I make it Jureg, Steel Skull, Mordecai? Do I go and take Rhonda to 60? Let me know, what do you guys think? Who should I be doing next? Because to be honest, I'm not really sure who I want to do. I mean, Jureg, Steel Skull, they kind of do their jobs at 50. Mordecai can do his job at 50. Deacon does his job at 50. They're not damage dealers. Now, Jureg at 60 would certainly provide some additional ally protection because he'd have more HP, so that would be good. Obviously, more survivability on any of them would be good, but let me know what you guys think. Anyway, let's go over here. Let's take a look and see where we're at on this clan boss run. Look at that, 9 minutes to spare. We are going to be hitting normal on this. We did hit easy earlier, And this was before these guys were leveled up, and we hit easy for 4.23. So we need to do at least 3.6 million on normal in order to get max chest. Nothing speed tuned or anything. We just have them thrown in here. Rando gear. You know how it is when you're this early. Hopefully we get something good out of this. I mean, I would think with Jureg being at 50 now, he's going to last a little longer. And the Steel Skull being at 45, I would think he would last a little bit longer as well. That obviously helps. Steel Skull is my form of, I mean, he's got the increased defense, but he also provides my healing for, you know, the other guys other than Kale on this team. You know, Kale's got the lifesteal gear on, so he automatically is healing himself, but as for the rest of them, they just kind of do their own thing. Now, the problem is that we waited so long in the day to do this that the clan boss is no longer void. So this might be a problem. It is force, which means Kale is weak to the clan boss. That means that it's going to be a lot less poisons landed, a lot less damage from Kale, and he is my main damage dealer. When we look at the other runs I was doing, he was providing 3 million of my 3.6 million damage I was doing on this. And he's landing decreased attack on me, which makes it even worse. So I don't know. This might be a little rough. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Kale's even the stun target right now, which I don't know. I mean, does that even make sense? I would think, I mean, Jureg has got to have worse stats than Kale, right? But I would think he would be landing the stun on Jureg, but maybe I just have too much on Jureg. I mean, he is the defense and everything like that, so maybe, but this isn't looking too great, to be quite honest with you. We'll have to see. I mean, Kale was able to keep himself alive after everybody else died on the other one for a long time, so we'll see. I mean, if this gets to, I mean, if we max chest on Force Affinity with this, I will be pleasantly surprised. It's not looking terrible right now. Obviously, as we, you know, get some more stats on these guys. And another thing, too, is the gear. You know, my gear is really hurting right now. You know, because I'm working on leveling these guys, I haven't really been able to do anything with gear or anything. It's just the gear that I'm kind of getting as I go. I did manage to do the challenge where you have to do the ice golem a couple times or whatever that I was stuck on the other day. Because, you know, each day in the advanced quest, you get one of those ones that's like do a dungeon mission 30 times or whatever. So I was just kind of doing the ice golem. And now that Kale's 60, obviously I was able to do a lot more damage. So I did a couple runs on there. And then I've also done a couple runs in Dragon, but I haven't gotten anything out of it that is worth leveling yet. So it's definitely been a little bit of a struggle when it comes to gear right now. Oh, Mordecai down. So that is not a good sign. That was our HP burn. Oh, Jureg is down now too. Oh god, there goes our ally protection. So it's going to be up to, I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe Steel Skull, nope, Steel Skull's getting ready to go down. I was going to say maybe Steel Skull helps Kale stay alive, but it's not looking good for him. I don't think we're going to get to the 1 key. Nope, sure aren't. That Force Affinity is making a massive difference. Look how little damage Kale was able to do on Force Affinity. Wow. That is a massive difference. Well, we've got about 5 minutes till our next key. So we'll end up having to use that next key probably for normal. I'll wait till the daily reset because that's going to be in enough time. No point in using that key up now. But we'll definitely get the max chest on normal and easy. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we can do normal a little bit earlier. We don't have to wait as long and worry about it. Ideally, we would do the hardest one first and then save the easy one. Today I did easy because I knew I was going to be ranking up some champions. So I wanted to try to see if I could get to a 1 key. In hindsight, probably would have been better off because I was borderline 1 keying void as it was. I would have been better off just 1 keying, you know, normal and then doing easy later. But hey, you live and you learn. Another lesson. But guys, that's about all I have for today on the update. I do want to thank you guys so much for watching to the end. Of course, as always, if you did like the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, be good.